My name is Martin McQuillan. I work at Kingston University, where I am the Dean of Arts and Social Sciences, and I'm also the Pro Vice-Chancellor for Research. I'm a Professor of Literary Theory and Cultural Analysis, and my own work involves reading modern European thought and contemporary literature with specialist interests in the work of Jacques Derrida and Paul de Man and Hélène Cixous and that kind of thing. Kingston University is in southwest London, in Kingston upon Thames. It's one of the biggest universities in the country in terms of student numbers. It's about the 10th biggest recruiter in the country. It's a turnover of about £200 million and is a large, comprehensive university covering everything from an art school to a business school to hard sciences. Well, there's a suspicion at the moment that in a world of £9,000 and rising tuition fees, that the arts and humanities will no longer have a place in universities. It's part of a circular logic in which if you charge £9,000 fees, you then say to kids, you must do a degree that will help you pay back your £9,000 fees that you took out in order to do the degree. At that point, that kind of logic requires us to have some critical thought, and that's where the arts and humanities come in. The arts and humanities offers an enormous amount to the economic and cultural benefit of the country. For example, the statistic is something like 40% of all arts and humanities graduates go into the financial services. And why people want to recruit arts and humanities graduates rather than people out of business schools, for example, is because they've been trained to be thinkers. And that's the value of an arts and humanities degree, that once you have completed an arts and humanities degree, then you have a range of skills and abilities to think that you can apply to almost anything in the workplace. The student voice is enormously important, and universities need to be alive to the different registers of the student voice. Universities are very keen on the unalloyed praise they hope to get back from the National Student Survey. This, after all, defines their league table position in their ability to recruit students. Universities are less good at listening to students when something goes wrong, when they want to complain, either about their courses or about the direction of the university or government policy around something like tuition fees, for example. They're a lot less tolerant of that sort of thing. While at the same time we've had a rise in student complaints to the Office of the Independent Adjudicator as a result of greater expectations on the part of students now that they are borrowing this level of money to go to university. University should have expected that to be the case. You can't take the money and ignore the student complaint. That's part of the culture that you've encouraged at that point. It's an interesting paradox that universities are keen not only to take £9,000 as a tuition fee, but some of them would like to take the cap off tuition fees and be able to charge anything up to £16,000 or whatever the market would allow them to do so. But at the same time, universities are actually quite bad at treating students as customers. This is what we are led to believe that we should describe students as in a market of student choice. But customer service in universities is quite bad. At a planning level, universities tend to think of students not so much as customers, but as units of economic resource. The more students they can have for £9,000, the better. When universities start thinking of students as an income stream rather than as a part of the university community, a necessary and essential part of the community, that's when universities begin to lose direction and lose purpose of what they are as universities. And this is something that every Vice-Chancellor ought to guard against.